So we are in Kakata, Margibi County. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Boakai, is here to commemorate UN Day along with the UN family. We are arriving this morning to commemorate that celebration. He's accompanied by the of the county, and they're taking a stroll. His Excellency the President is in Kakata. He's been welcomed by students, a cheering crowd, singing his praise, and we have to go now. We have to go now. We will join you later on.
When they go into the holding room, then the rest of the people go to the program.
Good morning again. We are in Kakata City at the BWI campus, and His Excellency the President of the Republic, President Boakai, is just arriving here with his convoy and will be received by the UN country rep, Madam Omatuni, who will receive him with other guests here. Okay. And His Excellency will receive a flower. A bucket of flower will be presented to the son of what?
To give this flower as a symbol of love, respect, and honor on behalf of the administration of Liberia and the senior body will present this bouquet of flowers. Thank you for what you have done for Liberia and the people of Liberia.
Veteran journalists will receive him the UN body. See members of the UN family.
Emma Hill.
We have received His Excellency here, Mayor of Agriculture, the Presidency, the Minister of Agriculture, and welcome to my IDB. Signs welcoming His Excellency to the city of Kakata and to Gibi County. And we're here at the BWI campus. Agriculture, the presidency, the Minister of Agriculture says, and hunger. Welcome to Gibi County. So wherever you are. So we will go off and rejoin you when the event officially starts. So thank you again for following, and we'll join you in the next few minutes. That's the UN country rep, Madam Mutune, ready to receive His Excellency the President, who has just arrived at the event area where in Kakata City, Gibi County. And His Excellency the President will disembark his vehicle at any moment from now. That is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madam Sarah Beslo Nyanti. The General, that's the one assigned in Gibi County, will receive His Excellency with a salute.
President of the
Yeah, man. I don't like that.
Just witnessed the arrival of President Boakai to attend this event. President Boakai has just arrived, and the event will start any moment from now.
We can make it, yeah, and
How you doing, man? How you doing,
Well, you got to now. What's
the message with all the
delegation and international organizations organizations, heads of the local authorities in Margaby, members of the traditional council, members of the clergy, members of the full estate, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome each and everyone today at the United Nations Day 2025 at UN at 8 official celebration held at the Boakai Washington Institute, Kakata, Margaby County at this time. Under the national theme, One Liberia, One UN, One Future. 80 years of partnership and progress. We now welcome Mr. Amos Boakai Jr., President of the Federation of UN Staff Association of Liberia, FUNSA, for welcome remarks. We will now have the Liberian national anthem. Sorry, the UN anthem, the United Nations anthem. Yes. Can we now have the UN national anthem, please? Thank you very much. We now welcome Mr. Amos Boakai Jr., President of the Federation of UN Staff Association of Liberia, FUNSA, for welcome remarks. You're welcome.
His Excellency Joseph Boakai, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Christine Yumutuni, the Resident Coordinator of the United Nations here in Liberia, Honorable Sarah Beslo Yanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Dean of the Cabinet, Honorable Government officials here present, the Superintendent and Local Authority of Margaby County, distinguished representative of the United Nations family, members of the diplomatic corps, fellow colleagues of the UN system, representatives of schools and local community, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and great privilege to stand before you today as we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, a milestone that symbolizes not just 8 decades of global service, but also humility in enduring belief that we are better together. 80 years ago, in the aftermath of war and devastation, nations came together with a shared vision to maintain peace, advance human rights, and promote development and cooperation among all peoples. Today, that vision remains alive in the work we do today. In the classroom in Kakata, in the clinics in Buchanan, in the community in Lofa County, and across every other counties in Liberia. Together, as we have gathered today, let us be reminded that there are great challenges that we have faced, including conflict, climate change. All of these demand a great collection of strength, unity, and compassion. Here in Liberia, this spirit of togetherness has been the cornerstone of our progress, especially in the country continuing to consolidate peace and sustainable development. We are especially proud to celebrate the global milestone right here in Kakata, Mangibi County, a county known for its vibrant youth, strong education tradition, and community spirit. Your participation today from schools, local authorities, and the community group demonstrates the heart of UN's mission, partnership with people. As we reflect on global unity, allow me to also highlight the achievements of one of our own, the Federation of the United Nations Staff Association in Liberia, FONSA, which continues to embody the principles of solidarity, welfare, and service among UN staff. This year, 2025, has been particularly remarkable one for the FONSA. First, FONSA successfully convened its General Assembly, during which we presented the fiscal and financial report, reinforcing transparency, accountability, and collective ownership in our operation. Second, in our ongoing effort to enhance staff welfare and convenience, FONSA has procured a 30-seater bus dedicated for staff shuttle and transportation. This initiative is not just about mobility, it represents our shared commitment to safety, comfort, community among the United Nations. And finally, one of our proudest accomplishments as FONSA has officially been recognized by the Federation of the International Civil Servant Association FISCA in New York. This recognition places Liberia's UN Staff Association on the global stage, aligning our voices to thousands of UN staff around the world, advocating for fairness, dignity, and unity in the international civil service. Just as Liberia's recent election to the United Nations Security Council signifies the nation's growing voice and leadership in global affairs, FONSA recognition in FISCA marks a parallel step forward, a reaffirmation that contributes to UN staff in Liberia and value and respect internationally. So as we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, let us remember that together we all in our offices, community, and country at large can do what is required of us, whether through humanitarian services, advocacy, and a simple act of kindness. Each of us contributes to the UN legacy of peace and progress. Let us continue to work together hand in hand. The United Nations, the government of Liberia, our development partners, and the people of Mangibi to build a future that truly reflects our shared value, a world that is peaceful, just, and united in purpose. On behalf of the Federation of the United Nations Staff Association, as the President, I extend our heartfelt appreciation to all of you, our colleagues, partners, and friends for joining us in this celebration. Together, we honor the past. Together, we celebrate the present and commit ourselves to building a stronger, better, and more united future. Big thank you to the United Nations. I want to say God bless the Republic of Liberia. God bless us all, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will implore each and everyone coming up here, please, to observe the time because we are slightly behind time. At this point, we'll go for the hoisting of the UN flag, and this will be done by Ms. Doris Nelson of the UNDSS. Ms. Doris Nelson, can you please come up for the hoisting of the flag, please? Thank you very, very much. We now have a statement by the Superintendent of Margibi County, Honorable O.J. Morris. Sir, you're welcome.
Margibi, if you are prepared for this, they say yay. If you are ready for this day, say happy birthday, happy anniversary to you, you and family. Thank you. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Her Excellency, Ambassador Joseph Boakai Senior, Honorable Jeremiah Paku, who is not here, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, the UN family and delegations who are here to celebrate this 80th anniversary, United Nations Resident Coordinator to Liberia, who is present here,
a one UN coordinating team, Liberia chapter ranking from peace and security, social and economic development, as well as protection of human rights. Honorable Speaker, who is not here, Honorable Senator Pro Tempore of the Liberia Senate, and the Deputy Speaker, the Magibi Legislative Caucus, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Ministers and Directors, headed by Honorable Cyril Beslo-Yanti, Dean of the Cabinet of the Republic of Liberia, chiefs and traditional leaders, women, youth, and student communities, auspicious experts, honor the canopy of the one UN who are contributing towards the peace and development of our beloved country, Liberia. Let me seize this medium to appreciate you all for your rising turn up in order to demonstrate your acceptance to have this day being celebrated here in Liberia, specifically in Kakata City, Margibi County. As this day marks a significant milestone in the history of our country, Kakata remains a trusted city, a city that appreciates the government of the Republic of Liberia through His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai Sr., based on the numerous development that the President is undertaking in this county. In rating our city, which is the host city, Kakata, we think Kakata is first among equal. That's why we were considered to host this UN Day. Liberia have a symbol of trust and a history of a foundational pillars among 50 founding members across all continents, with our emergence historical signing of the UN chapter in June 26, 1945, and officially ratified on November 2, 1945. Maintaining these values and trust repose in us as a people and a sovereign state. We once again recognize the United Nations for supporting its 80th anniversary celebration financially, morally, and physically, ranging from all UN, one coordinating agency designated to buttressing Liberia's development agendas. Again, we are grateful to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, for his continued support and partnership with Liberia since 8 years ago. We welcome and endorse the proposal of our government, headed by former President William V. Statement, to help create a strong, more effective international organization for peace and cooperation. Liberia again played a pivotal role in joining other founding members in the decolonizations and human rights efforts, remembering Madam Angie Brooks Randall, who was selected as the first African female president and second female from any nation to head the UN in 1974. With these restless efforts, the UN saw Liberia as a familiarity with democratic records from the continent of Africa, voting her in 1964 as one among its 10 non-permanent members to the Security Council in order to cultivate peace and security across Africa and the globe. In our quest to maintain her status, Liberia again honored this regime of His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai Sr. We proved her commitment by being elected on June 3, 2025, overwhelmingly with 181 out of 187 votes cast by the UN member states in serving sole position, the non-permanent seat. at the UN General Assembly. Moving forward, we Magibian join our aging and emerging Liberian citizens to extend gratitude to the UN for her continuous support to Liberia peacekeeping in supervising the election of 1997, as it reflected a pragmatic choice by war-weary Liberians to prioritize stability over justice, giving former President Taylor's role in the world atrocities, a reflection of 1999 to 2003 that led to the establishment of the UN Security Council Resolution of 1509 on September of 2003. This resolution supported the implementations of ceasefire agreement, protect civilians and assist in disarmament, and reintegrations of combatants, with over 1,000 military personnel, police and civilians under the UN support to Liberia. We are again grateful to the United Nations from all perspectives. After 20 years back, under the canopy of the UN, comprised of UNDP, USAID, UNICEF, UNESCO, WFP, UNINO, UNHCR, UN Women, and many more humanitarian organizations. We are again steadfast to hold gratitude for the UN through her interventions in some of our devastated situations in Liberia, such as the global epidemics of Ebola in 2014 and the COVID-19 in 2019. This relief came through humanitarian aid, food and medical supplies, scholarship and cash and material donations, etc. Relating to climate change, let me again extend gratitude to the country coordinator of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for collaborating with Magibi County Authority in coordinating and combating climate hazard across Kakata City and Magibi County for the past 1 year upon our appointment to serve in this capacity. The elections of 2011 considered controversies, including low voters turnout in the runoff, seen as a step towards stability after the Second Civil War was again supported by the UN through its implementing armed court UNMIL. Peacekeeper came to Liberia. Liberia was once again stable and peaceful through the intervention of UN. In 2017, as a reflection of December 26, was a historic milestone marking Liberia's first fully democratic transitions in 74 years. With mutual trust and partnership between Liberia and the UN over the years through the above-mentioned institutional agencies, consistent and persistent intervention remain paramount to our economic growth, increase in budget, and infrastructure development exclusively. With our global theme, building our future together, which is being celebrated on this 80th anniversary of UN, we stand with the UN family as we demonstrate our cultural heritage by welcoming the sense of togetherness and allowing us with a platform to voice our stance on international issues and oppose things that will take us back in Africa. As a people and a sovereign state, let us continue to reflect our thoughts for this year. One UN, one future. Somebody say one UN, one future. One UN, one future. 80 years of partnership and progress. This team share a fair look of citizens' aspiration to contribute towards our growing society, specifically for Magibi County and Magibian as well. They speak to each and every citizen, residents who acknowledge the fact by demonstrating our willingness to democratically exercise our freedom for the emerging generations after us by portraying the norms and standards for one vision, one orientation, and one culture and sense of belonging. Mr. President, UN Special Representative President, international and national partners, our dear Legislative Caucus, it will further interest you to know that the government has initiated and revamped the National Cadet Program for Youth Empowerment with 15 cadets assigned inland ministries and agencies to be incorporated as Civil 7 in Kakata City, Margibi County. The commemorations of National Statutory Institution to launch the constructions of the Margibi Youth Secretariat, the advocacies of decentralizations of land ministries for rural dwellers' consumption, the pending launch of Margibi Youth International Scholarship Draft to be supported by the Margibi Legislative Caucus and statutory concession companies based in Margibi County is at hand in Margibi. Moreover, let me seize another moment to recognize the existence and the role of the media. The media amplifying voices in the corrections of our wrong paths and in many other ways we intend to implement and coordinate with our citizens directly and indirectly. Again, your role included promoting democratic values and ethics, professionalism and passion, and above all, a sense of belongingness. The truth, we again open our doors for dialogues and alternative as we gear towards preparing for peace. Mr. President, UN representative, international partners, we are pleased again to say to you, Margibi and Kakata City is a place of hospitality. I call on all citizens in Liberia to join me in support the spirit of unity and progress, firstly through reconciliation, empathy, resolution for progress, and the love for oneness and love for country. I have further pledge with you and your conscience to embrace the spirit of unity and progress through development priorities, love, and the sense of recognizing the origins of our ancestors as well as their struggling foundation that led to us to where we are today. To the UN family and our foreign partners in progress, let me on behalf of our country and our country on behalf of our country, Margibi, and our country Liberia, headed by His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Nyimapuraga, reaffirm to the United Nations our government's commitment to working with you and other partners that have been serving as supporting arms to the growth and development of our country. It is our hope to allow the continuity of these collaborations that will foster development under this regime. We as people of Margibi and Liberia are about this time expressing our gratitude as beacon of hope to light and strengthen our existing partnership in our quest to support the President's arrest agenda for inclusive development. Finally, I want to in an exclusive manner appreciate the UN family, international and national stakeholders. Thank you for your collaboration. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you have done for our country. We are glad, Margibi is glad, and we say, thank you all.
1945. On this day, the UN Charter was ratified by the majority of signatories, including some five permanent members of the Security Council, which Liberia was and is part of. The day was first celebrated in 1948 with many countries. The United Nations is an international organization consisting of over 193 member states. It is a global body that aims to promote peace, security, and cooperation among its member countries, which Liberia is not exceptional. In recent years ago, the United Nations mission in Liberia was deployed in Liberia for a peacekeeping mission that is over 100,000 combatants and 3 securities and assisted in restructuring the military. Under infrastructure, the United Nations helped rebuild critical infrastructure. Under infrastructure, the United Nations helped rebuild critical infrastructure such as constructing bridges that improve transportation and access to education for many Liberians. Under rule of law and good governance, the United Nations UN efforts have focused on supporting the implementation of cumulative policies and building national human rights monitoring capacity. The United Nations Cooperation Framework of recent for 2026 to 2030 focuses on economic transformation, rule of law, good governance, and human capital development align with national priorities. Liberia is ratified of recent election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for 2026 to 2027, which signifies a new chapter in its global engagement. Notwithstanding, the United Nations continues to play a vital role in addressing global challenges and promoting a more peaceful, equitable world. The recent war in Gaza, Israel, and other areas, as we gather here to celebrate this magnificent event, I want us to reflect on the things that the United Nations have done for us as Liberians, as we also anticipate more from this global body. Happy United Nations Day, and thank you all.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause, please. Thank you very much. We know the fight against drugs is a serious matter and also a national concern. The government is actually targeting to fight. Efforts being made by young people. Happy recognition. We now have testimonies and recognition of young ambassadors of change. In total, there should be 50, but 2 will come up to speak, and they will be certificated by His Excellency, and then the other ones too will receive certificates for photo shoot. Please welcome our young ambassadors with their testimonies and recognition. Where are you? Can the other ones please come and line up here so that once they are done, it's easier to get to you, please. The others, can you please come up here and just line up? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Terry Webo.
My thanks and appreciation goes to His Excellency President Boakai and to the government of Liberia, to be precise, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Health, and the Mother of Light. These people have significantly worked towards our change. But today, we are not just the change, but we are the people who are also bringing impact in other youth lives. To be precise, standing here today, it was not easy because my past life, if you go back and look, of ex-armed robber, destroying myself through the use of substance, killing innocent people for money, but today I'm standing here. I have also joined the President of the Republic of Liberia to wage a war against drugs. Because drugs are still innocent people that cannot be replaced. Seeing myself today among beautiful people, current places, the UNFPA, through the TOT training that have also impacted my life to help other youth today. I'm grateful to the One UN today to be part of them and to celebrate with them. Thanks.
Greetings to all. His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. By the way of introduction, my name is Kakata. I am an integrated youth of Mother of Light Rehab located in Chemo Camp. My deepest and sincere appreciation goes to His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, the Republic of Liberia, the entire UN body, well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen. Shortly, I will explain the effect of drugs. Drugs, as we all know, is a very harmful substance. Drugs affect your thoughts and action, more especially if it becomes chronic incident. Ladies and gentlemen, drugs is very harmful for our society. I got involved with substance use during the year 2013. Through the help and support of President Joseph Boakai, the entire UN body, Ministry of Health, today I am who I am personally. Ladies and gentlemen, I have decided to make a change, to follow my education, and to make Mama Liberia proud. Although drugs is not good for our society, I advise that all youth, you should take the step of living a sober life, make Mama Liberia proud, improve your status, and encourage yourself that you can be that change that you deserve to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Kakata. Thank you.
Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. That's the challenge I've been put out. I'd like to call up.
Excellency, good morning. Your Excellency, like every coordinator of the One family, good morning. The Dean and the members of the Cabinet here, good morning. The employees and members of the Diplomatic Corps, good morning. I see members of the security forces here, good morning. I also see the principal of BWR here, good morning. The BWR family, our traditional leaders, students, members of the press, distinguished ambassadors of change. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, there are dozens of these young people who have gone through the rehabilitation process that was sponsored by you. Before last year, you attended the graduation. Today, in collaboration with the UN, we have showcased just some of them. These are not just the number. They are more than this. They are representing their colleagues because everyone could not come. But these are people, young men and women who are fully recovered. Fully recovered. And
went through all of our programs fully recovered. Some of them are employed, working now with the very service providers. Some of them have gone back to school. One of them is now a senior student at the UNU, United Methodist University. And a good number of them are also making use of the toolkits that were provided them doing their businesses. Today, I would like to invite His Excellency to be joined by the resident representative of the UN and the Minister of Education, the Dean, to please come and certificate these President Boakai ambassadors of change. I will present the commission to the resident.
Nobody must stand up. Everybody must go down. Everybody go down. If you want to be here, go down.
No, but in the dance. No, go back, brother. You can't do it where you're. So folks, the ambassadors of change now receiving certificates from His Excellency President Boakai, the UN Resident Coordinator. These are young Liberians who have gone through rehabilitation through the Ministry of Youth and Sports and several other entities. Now receiving certificates, fully recovered, fully transformed and transitioned to a whole different life. You heard their testimonials. Several of them have already received their certificates. Quite a few of them. Up to 13 of them being certificated. Proudly receiving certificates from President Boakai. In fact, if you did listen to the Youth and Sports Minister, he said they are now known or called the President Joseph Boakai Ambassadors of Change. That is the young man who gave a very touching testimonial about his past life and being transformed to a better person, putting drug behind them and that fortune for a better life. And of course, if you did listen to the previous lady who gave her testimonials, mentioning how she has now transformed and wishing for a better Liberia, of course. Right, so the certification has concluded.
The rest will get theirs.
All right, so we'll go back to the podium.
Round of applause.
We'll now rejoin MC Eva Flomo, veteran Liberian journalist.
And on behalf of the diplomatic corps, we would invite the head of the UN delegation, Liberia, Her Excellency Pring.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Nona Ambassador to Liberia, standing here in front of you to deliver special remarks on behalf of His Excellency Kakata, Ambassador of the Republic of Cameroon and Doyen of the Republic of Liberia. Your Excellency, President Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, honorable members of the legislature, Your Excellency, Senator Selemanti, Dean of the Cabinet and members of government, Your Excellency, Christine Umutoni, United Nations Resident Coordinator in Liberia, Honorable J. Morris, Superintendent of Margibi County and our kind host, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, High Representatives of international organizations, religious and traditional leaders and distinguished members of the press, honored educators, dignitaries and guests, community members, members of civil society, youth organizations and students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and pleasure for me to take the floor on behalf of the Diplomatic Corps and to do so at this awesome historic venue.
Symbolism, wonder, and hope for those struggling for emancipation and socio-economic participation. That is why I believe that most of us present today to celebrate the United Nations at issue would be immensely thankful that the silent spirit of Central Africa has inspired Nigeria to memorialize such a great vocational educator and people leader by setting up in Kakata the Booker Washington Institute that provides self-assertion, self-development, and self-empowerment for Liberia and beyond. Above all, we appreciate the fact that the representational power of the United Nations and the Liberian authorities also chose to bring the UN to the youth of DWI today. I congratulate the United Nations Organization, India, and member countries, and UN our future together, and at national level, one Nigeria, one UN, one future, 80 years of partnership and progress. Indeed, the human work and spark that